What up, what up? What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Coach Ant. I got something special for y'all today. It is fight week. We taking it over to the MMA side of things. You got Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. It's going to be their third matchup with each other, man. It should be pretty interesting, man. We seen the first two fights. You know what I mean? They traded victories. And it should be really, really fun, man. Really entertaining. You know what I'm saying? I got my boy Diante Davis, obviously the head boxing coach for a lot of the guys over at the American Top Team, a lot of the UFC fighters. And, you know, he works with Dustin pretty closely. And they're over in Vegas right now. And Dyah will be here in a few minutes. And we're just going to talk about it. You know, we're just going to talk about some, you know, how camp's going and everything like that. And if you guys want to chime in and do a Q&A with them or whatever, we'll go ahead and add that in there too. So make sure you have your questions ready. Diante Davis is a fantastic boxing coach over in the Florida region. You know what I mean? South Florida, Boca Raton to be exact. And it's going to be a lot of fun having him. I've been friends with Dyah for quite a bit of time now. I met Dyah back in about 2013, 2014. Met him through King Mo, who I actually had on here the other day. I know we were just talking boxing predictions and boxing opinions and stuff. And if you don't remember King Mo was a fantastic Bellator fighter with a wrestling background. He also learned boxing, trained with me and Jeff Mayweather in the past. And that's basically what it was, man. So yeah, let's see who's in here. Man. We got my man Judith Van Boyen. What's good? How you doing, champ? We got No Farias. What do you think about Chris Colbert's performance on Saturday? Believe it or not, man, I did not see it. And I know I said I was gonna watch that fight. And I ended up going out, man. I'm going to be honest, man. It was 4th of July weekend, and I ended up going out and I actually missed the Chris Colbert fight. And I actually had it right here playing, and I was going to watch it, and I didn't. But maybe I'll catch the replay. I need a coach. I've been doing my work. Okay, well, you came to the right place, man. We can do some Q&As today, and we could talk. Can't wait to watch. Romeo Irvin McGregor gave up that match for a trilogy fight. Romeo, what are you talking about? He gave up that match for a trilogy fight. Now, look, I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I'm not a big MMA guy. Okay? I am a pure boxing guy. But Diante Davis being such a friend of mine, I'm supporting him, you know, big time when it comes to this fight. You know what I mean? I love to see him on a big stage. He's been working with MMA guys for quite a long time. So for me, this is more exciting to see Dyah part of this than anybody. You know what I mean? That's just me, though. You know what I mean? But maybe you can elaborate and talk a little bit more about that. You know, so my man said Conor is going to get slept again. Well, we going to see. How do you guys think, man? Drop your comments for all my guys out here who's excited about this fight. Drop your comments and let me know exactly how you think the fight is going to play out. I'm very interested to see, you know, the opinions of you guys, man. You know what I mean? I'm very interested to see. And also, I want to give a big shout out to everybody who took advantage of the 75% off over the weekend. You know what I mean? The 75% over the weekend, 75% off over the weekend was crazy. And I'm extending it. So if you use the CA Power Hour, you get 75% off all courses. I told you once I stop, 75% is over. I'm not doing it any longer. So, you know, maybe some of you guys will take advantage of this today. I told you it's going to be over, and when it's over, it's gone. So don't think that I'm bluffing. You know what I mean? I'm dead serious about that. So I'm just putting it out there. And, you know what I mean? Anybody think Conor McGregor is going to win? Let me talk to the people out here who think Conor McGregor is going to win. You know what I mean? A lot of people believe that, you know, Conor is going to lose. But I'm interested to see if Conor McGregor, anybody out there thinks he's actually going to win the fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm real interested to see that. You know, because it is a pretty competitive fight. The last fight was pretty competitive as well. You know what I mean? From what I remember it was going back and forth, and then Dustin ended up doing his thing. But let's see. I think Poirier's got it. Okay. Let's see. Big shout out to my man Adam Matos. I bought the How to Set Traps and Counter Punch series. Couldn't pass it up. Very smart man. That is a very, very good course. How do you like it so far? Let me know how you like the course so far. You got it for 75% off. And guys, like I said, the courses are going for 75% off. Now is the time to get them. You know what I mean? And I got Diante Davis coming in here real soon. So just cool out and be ready for that. But let me know how you like it. I think Conor definitely has a chance. He was landing the left straight. He was landing the left hand early. Yeah, I mean, MMA is one of those sports where you just can't count nobody out. You know what I mean? I learned that. You know what I mean? Remember when our girl, you know what I'm saying, went out and she tried MMA a couple of weeks back, man? You know what I mean? You seen that she was having trouble. Clarissa Shields, she was having a lot of trouble. So MMA is one of those sports, man, them funny sports where you just can't count nobody out. But without further ado, man, I'm not going to waste your guys' time talking about that. We're going to bring in the one and only Diante Davis. What's up, baby?
Brother, man, how you doing?
Man, it look like you chilling over there. It's still daylight over there. It's dark over here, man.
I'm out here poolside, just chilling, bro. Fight week, so a lot of relaxation. Really, not a whole lot going on. Just fine tuning, man. Just making sure we got everything ready to go for Saturday.
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about that. You guys came off of a nice win, and you got back to work. Before we talk about the fight, though, what's new with you? What's new with Diante Davis, man? I see the Boca Boxing District is blowing up. I mean, when I look on social, man, it just looks like you're getting busier and busier and busier, and you're bringing on a team. You know, I got some of your members following me, supporting me, getting courses, showing love, man. So I got to give a big shout out to. I feel like you guys are my cousins over there at the Boca Boxing District, man. You know what I mean?
That's it, man. You know, you're my brother, so you extended family to everyone else. But yeah, the gym is doing great, man. At this rate, I'm gonna be looking for another space pretty soon. So it's good. It's good. I mean, either I gotta add more classes or I gotta look into a bigger space.
Right. Now let me ask you, man, and I got some experience with this as well, but I want to hear more about you, how you handle it. How do you go from gym owner, beginner boxing classes, working with the everyday general fitness client, to out of nowhere having to switch the whole mentality and get in fight mode with Dustin and these big MMA? Like, this is a big fight, bro. This is like in MMA the biggest fight happening. How do you switch gears, you know what I mean, so you can go ahead and be the best you can be for Dustin? You know what I mean? How do you do that?
I mean, at the end of the day, this is the biggest fight of the year. There's no doubt about it. It's trending heavily, and it's on point to be the biggest fight ever in UFC history. You know, this is the trilogy. It means a lot.
Now, what makes you say that? What makes you say the biggest fight ever in USA? That's a big statement. What makes you say that?
It is. I just think, the excitement, the intrigue behind this fight. Both fighters are 1-1 going into this fight, so this is the rubber match. I think it's something that the fans really want to see. I think it's trending higher than the Khabib and McGregor fight. Honestly, even with all the commotion that went on into that fight, it's just bigger, man.
Higher than which fight? Which fight?
Higher than the Khabib and McGregor fight.
Oh, okay.
Right. So as of right now, they're saying it's trending, like the pre-sales for the fight are the biggest in UFC history.
Wow.
So the pre-pay-per-view buys are actually pretty high right now.
So how much does that excite you to be part of this? To be like, damn, you know what I mean? I'm part of possibly the biggest MMA fight in the history of MMA. You know what I mean? Like, how excited does that make you?
It's historic, man. I mean, it's great to be part of something, so historic and monumental. I'm very excited about that.
Now, where have you been training Dustin? Have you been training him in the Boca Boxing District, or are you going over to American Top Team? How are you working this camp out, and how's camp going, and who's part of the team? Like, fill me in.
So a little bit of both. I am a contracted coach by American Top Team, so I'm there a couple of days a week. So when the schedule permits, if it works out, and if Dustin doesn't have anything else going on, a lot of times he may commit to wrestling, and may not want to do wrestling and boxing back to back. Wrestling is very taxing on the body. So, if it just so happens to work out where he wants to come over to my gym, be in a little bit more of a comfortable and private environment. My gym's not open to 24 hours. I've got segmented times for classes, and I'll pick a private time to where we come over and we work in peace. Doors are locked. You don't have to worry about it. It's just me and him. Music going, we vibing and getting ready for the fight.
Now, do you have him sparring with any boxers in particular? I know South Florida is stacked with a lot of talent right now, boxing wise. Are you bringing him to some of these boxing gyms or bringing in work, or are you guys mainly just having him work with MMA guys for this particular fight?
Mainly just MMA guys for this particular fight. I've actually had him work with professional boxers in the past. He sparred with Chris Algieri once before. He's also sparred with some other boxers that I introduced him. It all depends on who we're up against. If we're going against a guy who's more of a striker, a stand-up boxer type fighter, doesn't really use a whole lot of ground tactics, then we may go out to some boxing gyms and get some boxing looks rather than an MMA look. But for the most part, in this camp, we've used primarily MMA fighters, but we've all used great strikers to help get ready for this fight.
Right now, Conor obviously has striking ability, and he's shown that in the past. How are you guys preparing for this? I know you don't want to give the game plan away, so I'm not going to sit here and ask you exactly what it is. But how are you preparing for Conor? Because he's a very awkward type of a guy. He's like deceivingly a good striker, you know what I mean? But at the same time, he's known for other things. Like, how are you preparing him, and how important is his boxing going to be in this particular match as opposed to all his other weapons?
I mean, Conor's got a few tricks in his bag, but primarily his striking is his greatest asset. There's no doubt about it. He's a great counterpuncher. I just give you a couple examples. In the Aldo fight, Aldo aggressively came forward. He stepped back, threw a check left cross, and dropped him. Same with Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez threw out a lazy jab, and he countered him with a left hand right over the top. So, I mean, we know what we're dealing with when it comes to Conor and his striking. Very seldomly does he lead off. We know we've identified him as a counterpuncher, but we can do it all. We can counter. We can be the aggressor. So we got several tricks in our bag as well that we haven't even unleashed yet. So excited, man. Really excited about this matchup on Saturday.
Now, how's Dustin's personality leading into this? Is Dustin very confident going in? Or is he just the type of guy that stays extremely humble leading up to the fight? Like, how's his personality? And on another question, how is he leading up to the fight? Does he get like cranky? Is he somebody who's difficult during fight week, or is he just a pleasant guy to work with all the way through?
Well, being that we're in fight week now, he still has some weight to cut. He's a little cranky, but irritated, irritable as anybody else would who's hungry. Watching all those around you eating, and oh, pass me that burger, pass me that, and he's over here just sitting there like, you motherfuckers.
Oh, so you guys eat in front of him. Like, when we will leave, we won't do that. So you guys are savage. You guys
I mean, in front of him. He don't mind it, or at least he won't say it. But it's part of the job, it's what he signed up to do. So he knows what comes with the territory.
Right.
But otherwise, I mean, he's humble. He's approaching this fight as if the second fight didn't happen the way it did. They're both 1-1, so he's looking at this fight like they're square even. And although this is their third matchup, he's looking at it like it's their first matchup, and he's looking to come out victorious just as he did in the second fight.
Right. So fight week, how do you guys like to taper down? I mean, obviously there's a lot more relaxing, but obviously it's kind of weight. How do you guys like to do it? What's like the protocol for you guys?
Right now it's about 2 workouts a day. We'll get up, go for a nice little light run in the morning. We did that. What's today? Today is Tuesday. So Sunday, Monday, Sunday and Monday we went for a 3 mile jog. Nothing crazy. Nice pace, and we hit some mitts later on that evening. We didn't run today. Tapering down off the runs now. But we will crack some mitts later, work some drills, some positioning, some realistic things that we'll see in the fight. But nothing too heavy, just enough to get the sweat going and, try to shed some pounds.
Right. Now, who else is part of the team? Who else is out there with you guys? Like, who's the corner, basically?
So myself, obviously, we got Mike Brown. We got Thiago Pitbull Alves, who actually just won a bare knuckle champion now. He actually just won a couple of weekends ago.
So he's fighting and coaching.
He's fighting and coaching. Yes, he'll be in tomorrow. He actually just had surgery on his hand from the bare knuckle fight.
I didn't see that fight. How did that fight go?
It went well. I mean, knocked this guy out in the second round, and now he's crowned bare knuckle light heavyweight champion.
I saw Hector Lombard hit that boy after he fought. That was crazy. Does he still train over there with you guys?
No, he's no longer with us at American Top Team, but he fluctuates. I think he's over at a boxing gym right now in Miami called Boxer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And that's something that I noticed a lot, man. Especially when I was around King Mo and stuff. A lot of MMA guys it's pretty common for these guys to help each other and work each other's corners. That's something that you notice a lot of, or am I just assuming that from the outside?
You get a lot of that in mixed martial arts. Obviously, like they have teams, which is not something we have in boxing. In boxing, you have a team, but it's a team of personnel that you trust. Like it's not an academy, it's not a school. These guys who are potentially helping each other can be also fighting each other in the near future. You just never know. So, typically you don't get that in boxing. You may spar with a guy who you may meet down the line, but it's very rarely that happens.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely something that I noticed, man. Every time I see MMA guys helping each other. It's dope. It actually would probably be dope if boxers did a little bit more of that as well. You know what I mean?
You think?
And you as a fighter, would you have appreciated to have like another fighter in your corner, like just giving you some like pointers, not necessarily instruction, but like, yo, Dyah, man, do this? Or do you think it's better just to listen to your corner, your coach or whatnot? Like, how would you have appreciated a fighter?
I mean, I think most coaches, for the most part, have been there, like they're seeing with an experienced eye as well. But yeah, I don't think it wouldn't hurt for sure, to have another fighter who understands the game just as much as you do, or if not, a little bit more because he may be a little bit more seasoned than you are. Yeah, I think that'll be very helpful in the corner, without a doubt.
So after this fight, after you guys went on the weekend, what you planning on doing next, man? What's next? Like, what's next for your program? How are you running your program over at the Boca Boxing District right now? Like, what's a typical day? You know what I mean? As far as class scheduling and what you provide over there at your facility.
Man, we got 5 classes throughout the day. Looking like we're going to be adding some more for sure. I've got a great coach who runs my morning classes, Brandon Sanford. He's an experienced retired MMA fighter who's got great boxing ability. And then I have my other coach, Steve Bryant, who's doing my evening classes. And I typically teach a class a day. So I teach a later class, which also happens to be the busiest class. That's at 6:45. But Stephen Bryan, he also has a couple of amateur fights. And he's actually got aspirations to turn pro. So we're working with him as well, getting him ready for the pro circuit at some point. But yeah, you're
still actively open to the idea of working with professional boxers, building professional boxers.
Absolutely.
Okay. You haven't closed that part of your life off just to focus on the business of boxing industry.
Not at all. But as of right now, I've got the hottest fighter in the UFC right now. So working with him and just running the gym as it needs to be run.
Now, you with all these MMA contacts that you have, how come you haven't added more of a MMA side to the Boca Boxing District? Why haven't you said, you know what, I'm gonna have MMA classes running 6, 7, 8? You know what I mean? You got obviously all the relationships and
I
you
think
can.
it would be a conflict, you know, because I am a coach in American Top Team. Actually, it might not be a conflict now, honestly, because they are now closed to the general public. It's only it's
Oh
only
wow!
a
So they
general.
don't have no more classes to the general public.
No more evening classes. I don't know. I don't foresee them opening up anytime soon. Like once the pandemic hit, and you know, like although the pandemic is kind of over right now, it's COVID is still here. It's definitely still present. So once we open up those doors, and Top Team had over 400 members, you're now inviting 400 or 500 people into the gym that could potentially disturb a fighter's livelihood. If a fighter gets sick, now he's out of a fight. He's out of a payday. He's out of supplying the means to, you know, make do for his home or for his family. So, he's not quite ready to open the doors just yet. So who knows? Who knows what'll happen in the near future?
That's what's up, ladies and gentlemen. We got Diante Davis here. Obviously, man. Comes from the prestigious Howard Davis Jr. family tree. You know what I'm saying? This is like boxing Harvard right here that we talking to. If you have any questions, now's the time. Drop them in the comment. We'll do a little quick Q&A. I know you're busy. I'm not going to keep you here for too long, Dyah. I know you got a lot going on over there on your end. So what else, man? Like with all of this fight hype coming up, do you see more memberships coming through the doors, or like more people coming? Like, yo, is this Boca Boxing District? Is this the place where Dustin trains? Where's Dustin at? Are they like, you know what I mean?
Believe it or not, it does go down like that, man. There's been times where, I'm communicating with somebody who's just walked in the door, and they're like, "This Dustin train here?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like looking around, like as if he's not in the building right now. Like, how you doing? Hey, I can help you. So yeah, it definitely, I get plugged a lot from some of the guys here in the UFC. Like John Anik is a top commentator for the fights, and every time Dustin goes out and he performs well, or he performs a nice move in striking, he'll plug the gym. So it's awesome.
We got a question here from Agon17. Agon17, Dyah, do you train Masvidal as well?
Jorge Masvidal. No, I don't train Masvidal. I worked with Jorge in the past, but he's had a striking coach that he's very comfortable with. He's been working with him for 10 plus years. His striking coach's name is Paulino, down in Miami. So no, I don't work with Jorge.
Okay, we got another question here from Romeo Urban. Advice on mental fortitude for boxing. What you got for him?
Mental fortitude. I mean, boxing is all about, man, achieving greatness, and pushing through adversity. Like there are times you'll be in the gym, you're hitting the bag, or you're with your coach and you're in the midst and you're tired, and you got to find a way to push through. I think boxing is probably one of the best analogies in life. Just for example, like if you want to be better at something, you got to repetitively do it, every day on a daily basis, and that's how you get better.
Can you remember a moment in your career? Because a lot of people might forget that you was a professional boxer since you don't got no wear and tear on your face. You know what I'm saying? You didn't get hit too much. You know what I mean? Guys might forget that you actually, did this professionally. Can you name a moment in your life, career, in the gym, something where you felt that you had to really dig deep, like you really was like, man, this is getting tough, and you had to push through? Is there a moment that strikes out to you?
Yeah, I'll tell you one fight in particular that stands out most to me was I fought a gentleman by the name of Marcus Johnson. He was undefeated at the time. He was like 20-0 with 16 or 17 knockouts. He was the hottest prospect in the super middleweight division at that time. And, I was kind of like selected to fight him, but I almost felt like I felt like I was being looked upon as a sacrificial lamb for this guy. You know what I mean? Like he was already talking about fighting for the title. So So for me, that was an adverse moment for me because I knew, you know, I wasn't going to be food on anyone's plate. Like I was going out there to take care of my business, to train as hard as possible, and to go out there and upset that gentleman. And that's exactly what I did.
And that was whose son? That was whose son?
No, it was no one's son. Well,
That wasn't Iron Pride. That wasn't Aaron Pride. No, that's a different fight.
no, Marcus Johnson.
Marcus Johnson. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. So again, yeah, like he was undefeated at the time, and he was already looking past me, and I went out there and handled business. Beat him unanimous decision. Even dropped him in the, I believe it was the 9th round. Yeah, 9th round.
That's what's up. Now, how about what was your favorite fight of your father? What was what fight did he stand? What fight stood out to you?
My favorite fight of my dad's would be, man, what was this guy's name? His nickname was the Candy Man. I forget his name, but my dad ended up beating him in the 10th round. He ended up knocking him out in the 10th round. I forget the fighter's name.
Now, when you work with and I'm gonna get to more of you guys' questions now, but when you work with these fighters, is there something that your father might have taught you back then? Like, listen, when you're working with these MMA guys, do this, or you know what I mean? Because obviously before you took the role, that was his role. That he basically was doing what you're doing now.
That's
Did he ever coach you on how to coach these guys, or are you just taking the lessons that you learned from him teaching you boxing and just applying it to them that way?
Definitely. I think I watched him coach, so obviously I was a sponge. Whenever I saw him working with, whether it be an MMA fighter or a boxer, from those experiences, I was just like a sponge, man. I was just soaking everything up, and I would apply that to my own fight career. And then once I was actually coaching while I was fighting. My dad retired from an American Top Team in 2010, and I had just beat Marcus Johnson at that time. So, I felt like I was on top of the world. My dad asked me like, "Hey, would you be interested in taking this job, for some supplemental income?" And I'm like, "So, Dad, I just beat the hottest prospect in boxing. Like, I'm looking to make big money." He's like, "Yeah, I understand that, but while you're in camp, you're not making money. So if you don't have a fight lined up, you're not making money. So why not do it?" So I did. I started to do it. I really enjoyed it. When my guys went out there to fight and they performed well and they came out victorious, I felt like I won a fight. So I enjoyed it just as much as, me being in there. And the only difference was I wasn't on the receiving end of any punches. Right.
So it kind of worked out in a way.
Right. Right.
Well, I'm gonna ask you a 2-for-1 right now. First question is, can you tell any of these up and coming? Because I get a lot of young fighters that come to my channel and watch this channel also who want to coach. What's the difference from being a boxer and a coach? You know what I mean? Like, explain to them from your perspective what needs to change, because they got a saying where not all good fighters can be good coaches, and not all good coaches were good fighters or whatnot.
Right.
What's your opinion on that, and what needs to change in a fighter's mentality if he wants to become a coach?
I think what needs to change in the fighter's mentality, who is now a coach, with respect to the other fighter, is that you're not that guy. So, if there's certain things that you want your fighter to do, you have to understand that it has to be practiced, it has to be taught, it has to be gone over repetitively until it's received and understood in order for him to do it. Just because you got it down doesn't mean that, he'll get it down just like that. You may have picked it up faster than, most other people may have. You got to also think that, how you think is not how they're thinking. It'd be nice to get on one accord with that guy, but it takes time. It definitely does take time. I think, like for Dustin and I, for example, like it took years for us to get where we're at, to be mentally sound and, kind of on the same page when it comes to certain things. There would be some things in the past that I would ask for from him and he was like fighting me back on it, But over time, through certain sparring experiences or fight experiences, you know, he can look back on things and be like, oh, you were right about this or you were right about that. So it kind of had to be understood in order for it to work. So I think, with a fighter who's becoming a coach, you have to be very patient. Just be patient.
Now, the next thing I'm going to ask, because a lot of people may not know, people who follow you do, but people who may not know that you have no amateur background, and you actually turned professional. You actually turned professional reasonably late.
What up? What's going on? Sorry, man. I got my man. Jorge Masvidal, DP.
What's up,
DP's
man?
in the house.
You got everybody there. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. You got everybody there. Is this you still good to talk? I know you got a lot going on.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? You see what we doing? We bringing you backstage, Coach Anthony Boxer, bringing you Dyah Davis, all of that. Nah, hey, stop. A lot of people might not know that you didn't have an amateur boxing background. And you started reasonably late. How old were you when you turned professional?
So I was 22 when I reached out to my dad and told him that I wanted to box. At the time, I was 228 pounds, and I had no boxing experience ever. I never boxed. I just wasn't interested as a kid. Only thing I was interested in was basketball. And from the age of 10 to 17, you couldn't tell me I wasn't going pro. But at 22, I had an epiphany. I was watching Lennox Lewis's last fight with Vitaly Klitschko. And again, I was 228 pounds, and I was like, man, I could be the next heavyweight champion of the world. Vitaly Klitschko got called on 3 weeks' notice, and he was doing very well up until he got cut. Lennox Lewis won the fight by TKO, and that's when the light bulb went off, and I'm like, dude, I wanna become a professional boxer. So I called my dad the next day, and when I told him I wanted to box, he kind of chuckled and said, "What? Box what? Oranges and grapes?" And I was like, "Oh man, I'm serious. I want to box." So he's like, "All right, well, let's do this the way." He's like, "You're not gonna be a heavyweight, so let's start running and change your diet." In 4 months' time, I lost 45 pounds. Then I was like really serious about what it is that I said I wanted to do. I was in New York and he was in Florida, so he invited me down to Florida. Told me I had 2 weeks, and if I couldn't show him something in 2 weeks, then I was taking my happy ass right on back to New York.
Now,
so
since you were able to do that, very inspiring, man. Very inspiring, because I had my first amateur fight at 16 years old, and you started at 22 years old, and you obviously did a whole lot more than I ever did as a boxer.
Huh? 22 is when I said I wanted to start boxing. I didn't actually start until I was 23.
Right. So my thing is this. For the people, because I get this question all the time. I'm 19 years old. Is it too late for me? I'm 20 years old. Is it too late for me? Sometimes I get ridiculous questions like I'm 38 years old and I want to be champion of the world. I get that question too. But what's your answer to these guys? And if somebody 22 years old walked through the doors, 228 pounds, and walked up to you and said, yo, or better yet, your son, when he turns 23, decides, right, I want to be a fighter. Is it realistic, or are you just an anomaly?
Listen, man, the power of the mind, bro. I think if you show how serious and dedicated you are to what it is that you say you want to do, anything's achievable, man. I started at 23 and ended up being ranked as high as number 3 in the world by the WBC and top 10 in every other major sanctioning body. So it's definitely achievable, man. I didn't have any handouts. There was no promoters that were lined up to sign me because I was Howard Davis Jr.'s son. I didn't actually get signed until Lou DiBella Promotions until like my 15th fight. At that time I was 14-1. So I had suffered a defeat in my 10th fight. So, I didn't, the way I looked at that 10th fight was like, I didn't lose, I didn't learn. But I think if you're serious about it, and if you're serious and you're dedicated to what it is that you say you want to do, and you have somebody who actually knows what they're doing, because that's very important too. Is having a good coach and a good surrounding team, and all things are possible, man.
Right. We got a question here from Jay Delgado. Diante Davis, do you have private sessions? Do you do private sessions for beginners?
Yeah, absolutely. I work with all levels.
So how can people find you? Like right now, he decided he wanted to hit you up. Like what's like how do you schedule your personals?
Jay, if you wanted to hit me up, you can hit me up either through my Boca Boxing District page, or you can, send a DM. Send me a DM on my Instagram. Either or, either my Boca Boxing District Instagram or my personal Instagram.
Yeah, cool. Fight game analysis says, love the work you've done with Dustin. How important do you think his right hook will be in the fight? He had a lot of success with it in the last fight.
Right. I think the right hook is what ultimately sat Conor down. And a lot of counter shots off of that too. Listen, he has many weapons. The right hook, if it's available for him, he's gonna throw it. And he a lot of people don't know that Dustin's right-handed, so he packs a lot of power in that right hand.
Wait, let me get another one for you right here. My bad. I'm reading them as I
Oh,
guess champion mindset. I guess he's talking about YouTubers. I don't know if he's talking about what I do, but hey, Diah, what's your thought
no,
on YouTube boxing?
YouTube boxing, like the Jake Pauls and the Logan Pauls and these TikTokers. Listen, I think there's a field for everybody. I'm not mad at those guys, and I'm not mad at the money that they're making. I think it's opening lights, opening doors for other fighters to come in and demand to be paid more. And I also think it doesn't hurt the sport. I think if I think the real boxing enthusiast understands, what they're watching if they so happen to watch this event. And I think, you can't fool the public. You're not going to say, watching a Jake Paul, you're not going to realistically think that he can go in there and battle I don't know, an Andre Ward or any light heavyweight champion of today, um, or even compete with like a Badu Jack or something like that. Like I think people understand when watching the YouTubers that it is purely entertainment, and these guys may pick up a thing or two, but I think at the end of the day, it's apples and oranges. Those guys can't get in there with any probably even top 20, top 30.
So let me ask you a question. If you let's say you got your guy, you built your guy up. Let's just say your guy is 18-0, and he's got a fight and is on a Jake Paul undercard, right?
Right.
How important are you pushing to your fighter to look exciting on that night, considering there's going to be a whole bunch of new eyes, a whole bunch of new people watching that typically don't watch? Or are you just trying to leave with your hand raised? What's the mentality in that situation? Are you saying, listen, bro, this is your opportunity. This is your time to steal the show. You better go out there and do something a little bit risky, but we're going to make it exciting. We're going to win. What's your thoughts on that mentality? Because obviously, a lot of the times you see a lot of these professional fighters, they're boring as hell on a
Right.
fight that they have an opportunity to steal the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I think a fighter's job is to go out there and lay it all on a line, but do it as safely as possible. Like you definitely risk the chance of not coming out the same every time you enter the squared circle. So, like on a big stage like that, when you have millions of viewers, you definitely want to go out there and perform. But let's make sure we got the fight won before we go out there and do anything crazy. Winning at the end of the day, winning is more important. You'll always have an opportunity to look good on another event.
All right, cool. Laisha Betteridge, how do you stay calm and clear headed when you start to get that fire in your belly? How do you avoid a firefight? I think we've all been there, but go ahead, Dyah.
Uh, man, avoiding a firefight. I mean, listen, the idea is to stay cool, calm, and collected. But I think if you're in a position where you understand what's coming at you and you know what you can deal with, then you can turn the fight up a little bit.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, I missed you.
Oh, so no, I was saying like, like obviously in the first and second round, you don't want to come out the firefight. Try to stay cool, calm, and collected. Once you have your opponent figured out to a degree, and you think you can go out there and apply that fire, then yeah, go ahead and make it a firefight. Try to get him out of there. We don't get paid for overtime.
Uh, Dyah, let Larry deliver. No, I'm dropping down a middleweight for him. I guess that's an insider you guys got. I don't know.
Yeah, Larry. I put Larry is the owner of Boxing Insider, and he's also a client and friend of mine. Um, I put him on my live one time, and we call him Larry the Liver Killer.
Okay. This is a good question, man, because you know Woodley pretty well. How do you
Right.
see the Jake Paul Woodley fight?
I actually reached out. I reached out to Tyron. I told him to come see me, but he's in good hands. He's with Pedro Diaz. He's taking his fight very seriously. Obviously, he's got the combat world on his shoulders, so he's definitely got to go out there and get it done. But I like Woodley to get it done. I think he gets it done. I don't know how many rounds they're gonna fight. Maybe an 8-rounder, but I think Woodley gets it done within 6.
Okay. Mark Gillard, advice for sparring somebody with better cardio. How do you
Man.
pace yourself in that situation?
I sure you're. I hope for sure that you're doing your road work. Um, yeah, you got to match that, man. I'm sorry, bro. You got to match that. You got to do something to increase the cardio. That's for sure. Maybe control your tempo a little bit. A lot of times when you're throwing big shots, those tend to fatigue you a little bit more. So, maybe your sparring partner is just better selecting his power shots. Not everything has to be a home run when you're out there sparring.
All right. He also asked a decent question. Advice for the first 10 seconds after you take a big shot. How do you handle that?
First 10 seconds after you take a big shot, you don't necessarily have to get that shot right back. You know what I mean? I think when guys get hit, they feel like, oh, I got to get him back right away. If you're boxing, whether it be a 3-minute or 5-minute round, you still have several minutes to seconds to get it done. So don't think because you got hit with a big shot that you have to erase that right away. A lot of times if someone ran off a combination, I would try to run off a combination right back. But time is of the essence. Just take your time. You'll get it back. You have to know that you're gonna get it back. So just like take a mental note. Somebody hit you with a good shot. All right, I'm gonna pay you back, but it's gonna be times 3. You get hit with another shot. All right, I'm gonna pay you back, but it's gonna be times 4. You just constantly multiply.
Right. Randy Willard asks, what do you look for in an opponent to make adjustments? What do you look for in an opponent in a fight to make adjustments? I'm not quite sure how to take that question. I don't know if maybe you can understand what he's saying. What do you look for in an opponent to make adjustments?
Yeah, I think if like you are the other eyes for your fighter.
So you're taking that as a coach from a coach's
Yeah, I'm gonna take it as a coach's.
perspective.
I think you have to be the eyes that your fighter doesn't have or something that he doesn't see. So if he's behind or if he's not making the necessary moves, you have to make sure that he knows that in the corner going out before the next round.
Right. Take a few more, ladies and gentlemen. How do you manage your anxiety and fears before a fight?
Um, I think a lot. What I tell my guys is, to manage your anxiety or fear, just look at it like another day at the gym. I mean, there's really no difference. Maybe smaller gloves, more lights, a bigger crowd, but other than that, just try to apply the fight like it's just another day in the gym. Just try to picture yourself. You drive to the gym, you get to the trunk, you pop the trunk, you grab your gym bag, you walk into the gym. Just think of it no differently than another day at the office or at the gym.
Right. Advice for someone's dream is Advice for someone whose dream is to coach boxing for a living. I love both of your answers. Go ahead, Dyah. Handle that one real quick.
Dream to coach boxing for a living. Try to get. Listen, if this is your dream, I really feel like the universe gravitates towards those who put that energy out there into the earth, into the universe. So ultimately, if this is your dream, if you're working with amateurs, and your amateurs are doing well, if you have an opportunity to work with some pros, those guys will gravitate towards you. As long as they produce and they get to the bigger stage, there's no reason why you shouldn't be paid for your services.
Boca Boxing District. That's one word, Dyah, for your
Yeah, for my Instagram, it's one word.
Okay, cool.
You got the other sound piece of the advice for someone.
Oh yeah, my bad, my bad. Yeah, man. My advice is to learn as much as you possibly can about boxing. I don't know what kind of boxing experience you have, but you need to really learn your craft, hone your craft, try to get around people who know what they're doing, learn, and then even when you're doing it, continue to learn. One thing I always took serious was learning. I didn't want to be that guy on Instagram that people sent secret messages to each other like, look at this idiot. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. You know what I mean? Look how stupid.
We've done that together in the past.
Yeah. I never wanted to be that guy. So I always made sure that I did hours and hours of either me doing it myself, me applying it myself, or hours of research and talking to credible people. I had some great teachers who I used to ask questions, and that's really, really what it comes down to. You have to know what you're doing. You have to be patient, just like coaching a fighter. You have to be patient with yourself to learn the game. I didn't walk into a boxing gym knowing anything. You know what I'm saying? If you would have saw me my first day in a boxing gym, you would definitely not think I'd be here today with a YouTube channel teaching boxing. You feel me? Like, it took many, many years for me to learn what I know. And so that's the main thing. Continue to learn and don't think you know it all, even when you do learn, because there's always something more to learn. That's really my opinion on that. And just work every day at it, man.
Absolutely.
Great. Put up Diante Davis's Instagram. Follow Diante Davis on Instagram at Diah_Ali or the Boca Boxing District. You know what I mean? You guys can go ahead and hit them up for private training. I don't know if you're doing Zoom training. I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you guys want. You guys want a Boca Boxing District t-shirt. I should have wore my shirt, man, but I got dropped like 10 pounds before I could fit it. You know what I'm saying? Got too much muscle right now. You know what I mean?
10?
Huh?
That quarantine 10, 15?
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's stuck. It's stuck this time. It's stuck this time. Hold on. What do you think about Conor's voice message? I don't know about this. Maybe you can.
I don't know anything about it either. I haven't heard of any voice message from Conor.
Okay. All right.
To be honest, regardless, we're not paying too much of what Conor's saying or doing, man. I mean, objective. At the end of the day, we can only focus on us and do what's within our own rights in order to get the victory and get our hands raised.
Yeah, how is their relationship outside of the MMA stuff? Like, are they pretty cool? Like, you know what, this is business, or they just don't like each other? Like, they don't even care about each other. How is it, you know what I mean, between them two guys? You know, some guys, they keep it business. Other guys, there's real animosity. What do you see from them guys?
I think in the first fight, Conor was definitely much more of a talker, and Dustin was definitely much more of a hothead. So genuinely, they very much disliked each other going into the first fight. 7 years later, both guys are parents now. They're both dads, family men, both married. I think I don't know if Conor's married or not, but family men. Been with their ladies for quite a long time. Again, dads. Things have changed, so I think they both approached it as a business, and let the talking to be held in the cage and not so much on the during the press conferences and podiums and so on and so forth.
Right. I think that's pretty good, man. You know, I got you here for 50 minutes, Dyah. I know you got a lot going on over there, man. I don't want to keep you here forever. Hold on. Let me give me one more guy in here. Your favorite way to end the combo, the double jab? Yes. Is your favorite way to end the combo with the double jab?
Yeah, I mean, like every combination should start with a jab and end with a jab. So I'm going to say yes.
Okay,
The
well, there you
reason
have it.
behind that is, like you start a combination. Um, you know, ultimately the guy you just hit wants to hit you back. So the jab is used as like a memory eraser or a reset for you in order to make sure that they don't come back and hit you.
Right, right. Yeah, I feel the same way. You know, sometimes I like to finish with a hook, or a jab. It just depends. You know what I mean? But
Right.
even if my guy finishes with a hook, then we're right back on the jab. So it's like however you want to look at it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, the jab is it's an underrated tool, man. Even though we know it's the most important punch, you see a lot of guys when they fight, they abandon the jab. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is about the jab that makes guys not want to throw it, but it seriously does neutralize everything, man.
Not only does it neutralize, but it helps set up your offense. It's a gauge. It helps you, determine where your opponent is and where you need to be in order to land your other power strikes.
Right. Well, I think that's it, man. Dyah, thank you so much for hopping on here, man. I know you guys got a lot going on. Just wanted to get a few minutes of your time, and I'm going to be calling you back on here after you guys win.
No
So
doubt. No, you
I'm
got
gonna,
it.
need, I'm gonna need that confirmation now that you're gonna be here after the victory.
Confirmed, bro. It's confirmed. You my brother, man.
It's confirmed. You know what I mean? We're gonna have Diante Davis come back, and we're gonna go ahead and keep picking your brain, man. And I love what you're doing down in American top team, but definitely what you're doing at the Boca Boxing District, man. I watched you. You know, I remember when you came to me and said, "Yo, Ant, I'm gonna open a gym." I remember that, and at that time, I already had a gym open, and you were just
Right,
flirting with the idea. Next thing
right.
you know, you got South Florida on lockdown, man. You got the hottest gym in South Florida right now. You got everybody from fitness people to fighters to inspiring boxers. You know what I mean? World class MMA fighters walking through your door. How does that make you feel, man?
Yeah, man, makes me feel great, man. I got a couple guys that I'm working with right now. I got a gentleman by the name of Tyler Kaplan, who's 26 years old. He's getting ready to make his. He's got a few kickboxing fights, but he's getting ready to make his amateur boxing debut with me. I got another kid whose name is his nickname is Junior. His real name is Halano Oliveira. He's 17 years old. He's actually getting ready to make his amateur boxing debut with me as well. Both guys are fighting August 14th, and it's going to be in, I believe, Port St. Lucie. I'll have to get more information when I get back. But yeah, man. So like I said, I mean, I'm working with all walks of life, man. Guys who are actually looking to get involved and fight amateur, and one day hopes of fighting professional. To MMA fighters, I have MMA fighters who are doing my classes, and I got the general public who are doing the classes. People just who have regular fitness goals and want to get in shape, shed that quarantine 15 like me and you are both trying to get rid of, and just an overall healthy attitude. Come in. Some people use boxing as an outlet. They much rather punch their boss, but don't want to do that. Don't want to get fired or nor get tossed in jail. So they'd rather come in and hit the bag for an hour.
Right, right. Not boxing definitely is I boxed for so many years, man, and I don't do it anymore. You know what I mean? But when I train people and I see the excitement in their eyes and just how much they love it, man, it just reminds me of like boxing. That's why I always say boxing life at the end of all my posts, man. It really becomes who you are, man. Like you really start to define yourself through boxing. It's crazy how powerful boxing can be, man, from the fitness, just everything. You know what I mean? It really changes how you view life.
When's the last time you sparred?
A serious spar?
Not
Uh,
serious. Well, but just got in there and mix it up.
Me and another trainer by the name of Rasheem Jefferson always had like a annual spar whenever Tevin Farmer fought. So
Annual squad.
our last spar was for Tevin Farmer's last fight. So that was in 2019.
Dude, that was here in South Florida. The one at Miami. The one in Miami.
Yeah, we sparred in Jersey, but yeah, we sparred for that camp. So it was right around that time.
Okay. What's going on with Tevin, man? When's he back in the ring?
Um, Tevin right now, he's in like a funny place. You know what I mean? He lost the fight to Jojo Diaz, and
Right.
I don't think anybody expected for us to be waiting this long for him to be fighting again. You know what I mean? We probably thought that he was going to be able to just, but then the COVID hit. Jojo Diaz didn't live up to his contract, which a lot of people might not know, but if they did, he didn't. He was supposed to, live up to his. We had rematch clause. He didn't live up to it, and then Tevin, was going through some back end stuff. So the businessman and how it could be. So right now, Tevin is just in a place where I think he doesn't want to just take anything because he doesn't have to. He's financially in a position where he's not just going to take a fight if it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but it's unfortunate.
You and I both know it's very important for the fighter to stay active and to get in there, even if it doesn't make sense financially. If there's a guy out there that he knows he can beat and stay active and stay relevant in the audience's eyes, he needs to do that, man.
Yeah, man, that's very true, man. And
I know Tevin. I follow him on Instagram, so I know he's doing some other stuff outside of boxing. I think he's doing some stuff in real estate, which is great. I love that about guys that they're just not sucked in and drawn into the only thing. They have other ways of being financially secure. That's great, but you got to remember how you were able to do that. You were able to accumulate those monies and everything through boxing. And if you plan on walking away from the sport, then whatever, then it's all good. But if you have intentions of coming back and ultimately being world champion again, I think he needs to stay active.
Yeah, man, I agree with you 100%. So hopefully we hear something in the near future, man, because Tevin definitely has juice left. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
He definitely can get in there. He definitely can mix it up some more. So we'll see what happens, man. I wish we could have got Eddie back in the round. Wish you could have gave Eddie a pep talk, man. You know what I mean? Maybe I sent him down to Florida with you, man. Maybe you could wake him up for me. You know what I mean?
I know Eddie still got it, man. How old is Eddie now?
Eddie's 39 years old.
39, okay. So me and Eddie just about the same age. I just turned 40 in June, so. But I'm done.
How realistic do you feel, like, if you had to fight again, that you can get in there and do it, like body wise, aches, pains, discipline, like, or is it really where you're like, man, once you get to a certain age, that's it, man. I'm just gonna cool the fuck out, call it a day. You know what I mean?
Man, I mean, I think the mind is a powerful thing. If I put myself back in the mindset to where, I wanted to get back, it would be difficult to get back into the top 10. But I think once I got there, and I don't mean difficult as in, beating guys. I just think to get into the mindset of just having to fight again, I would need at least realistically 6 to 8 months of training before
a camp started.
Before even getting a camp. You know what I mean? Because I think 6 to 8 months would put me in a position to be like, all right, well, am I doing this or am I just bullshit? And I think 6 months I would have made my mind up in order to do that. Legend only league calling. Yeah, man. If my phone rang, I would entertain it. I would definitely entertain it if my phone rang.
Right.
Actually, you know what? I got called for an exhibition to fight Glenn Johnson. And I accepted it. Yeah, I accepted it and I never heard back from them.
Damn.
Yeah.
Glenn Johnson, man. That would have been weird to see.
Yeah. I know, right? I think Glenn's got to be 50, 52, 51 or 52. So,
I remember when he turned his career around, man. He became one of my favorite fighters for quite some time. I remember, man.
Right. I mean, I'm no spring chicken, but I mean, 52.
Yeah, yeah.
I would try to I'll put some hands on Glenn.
Have you ever sparred Glenn? I mean, you guys are both in Florida.
No, I never worked with Glenn. I never
What,
had.
what,
I work with a lot of guys, but I never had an opportunity to work with Glenn.
what did you think about Erickson Rubin's performance? He's another guy who's training down in Florida. What you thought about his fight?
I saw a couple rounds, man. There was so many fights going on that night. You know, Lomachenko fought. I had a good friend of mine and one of Dustin's coaches, Thiago Alves. He was fighting bare knuckle, so I was flicking all the channels. You know what I mean? I probably saw like the first 2 or 3 rounds of Lubin's fight, but I know he came out with the knockout victory, which is what I expected. You know. I know his nickname is Banana, but I mean, dude, his last fight he went down due to a body jab against Charlo. So,
And he went down again to a body shot.
yeah, I mean, if you
Now,
go down,
what's your thoughts when you see that? What's your thoughts when you see a guy lose 2 fights in a row due to a body shot? What's going on there?
listen, Lubin was smart and he attacked the body. What's going on there? I don't know. Maybe he's not doing the sit-ups.
I don't know if I've ever seen a guy lose 2 fights in a row to a body shot. I don't know if I can remember that in my boxing history as a fan watching.
Some guys have some weak points, man. I don't know if you remember what's his name? It's called him the Black Rhino, Clifford Etienne.
Uh-huh.
You remember Clifford Etienne?
Yeah, I remember him.
Okay, so he had a weak spot, man. It was like anywhere around his ear, which is known as like a disturbance or an equilibrium shot, right? But he always did the same funny chicken dance whenever he got to hit there. Tyson knocked him down. There was one fight in particular where he went down several times from that shot. I can't remember who he was fighting, but yeah, I mean, some guys just have.
Alan Green was like that too. Remember Alan Green? He used to get hit and then he used to like get all discombobulated.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Alan personally, and I know he had a lot of health issues outside of boxing.
Got it.
But yeah, I do remember that. Like if Alan used to have like this weird thing where he would always look down before looking up. I don't know, it was weird. It's like he needed to look at his feet. But yeah, man, Alan, good friend of mine. You know, his career was disrupted by health issues. He had like 85% of his colon removed. So that's rough. That's rough on anybody. 85% of his colon removed.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, man.
Yeah, he had something going on there, man. And he turned pescatarian. It was like where you only eat fish. Like his body was just so sensitive where he couldn't eat meats anymore. You know, 85% of your colon's removed. Your colon does a lot of work to get rid of all those toxins. So, yeah, man, it's weird though. I don't know. I don't know why Rosario's just so weak downstairs. I don't get it. You need to do a sit-up, so I'll tell you that.
Look like Dustin had cameras following him and stuff. Who's there with him? Is anybody like Showtime or you know what I mean? Like UFC stuff? Who's following him right now?
The UFC, they're here, they're filming. They've got their shows, The Embedded. You can check all those shows out there on I think they're shown on YouTube, or if not, if I'm not mistaken, the Fight Pass. And then they have a countdown similar to HBO, how they used to do like the countdown. You know, it's a big fight.
Like a 24/7 type thing.
Like a 24/7, exactly. Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah, clean.
That's what's up, man. All right, Dyah, man. Well, I want to thank you again so much for coming on here. I know the people appreciated it. I know you guys learned. Make sure you guys follow Dyah_Ali on Instagram or the Boca Boxing District. Dyah, expect them DMs to start coming in, man. You know what I'm saying? Because your stock keeps going up. Guys, I hope you don't think them prices are going to be cheap, man. I mean, I hope they don't think that they're going to be cheap. I know you work with people, Dyah. I know you got a big heart. But you know what I mean? You got to charge like, you know what I mean? You up here. You're not a regular guy no more.
No, you keep telling me that, man. I'm like, yeah, I know. But no, you're right. I mean, listen, over the last few months, like I've been so busy, man. I'm turning people away, and you know, I believe it was like a couple of Thursdays ago. I had like 7 people lined up back to back, and I'm like, damn, what am I doing? Why am I working this hard? This don't even make no sense. So yeah, no, trust me, I take great note of what you tell me to do. I'm new in business, so I'm still learning, man.
Price is going up, ladies and gentlemen. He's not doing 75% off the courses here. He's 150% or more is what you're gonna be paying now. I'm just playing, y'all. Make sure y'all follow him. Make sure you guys shoot him a DM. Well, right here, my bad. Follow Diante Davis, Dyah_. Thank you so much, my brother. I will be tuned in. I don't watch that much MMA, but when you're there in the corner, I'm tuned in. I'm locked in. I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? I got to support you, and I'm sure that you got them ready. And
you ain't got to watch the whole card, but just make sure you tune in for the main event.
That's really all it. Who else is on the card?
I only know. So the co-feature is Gilbert Burns and Stephen Thompson. Former NFL player, I think is fighting still. Greg Hardy. So I'm not sure who else is on the card.
It don't even matter, man. You on the card, man. You on the card, man. That's all that matters. You in the corner. All right, Dyah, man. I want to say thank you again, bro. I see you got a lot going on over there, man. Thank you for taking an hour and changing your day. You know what I mean? To come talk to the people.
You got it, man.
All right, y'all.
All right, you good, brother. Peace, bro.
Thank you, bro. All right, y'all. That was Diante Davis. Guess no better than that. Make sure you guys follow him, Diante Davis, Dyah_Ali, the Boca Boxing District. I want to say thank you to all you guys. Is there anything else you guys want to say or talk about real quick before we go ahead and get off this thing? Let me know. Now is the time. You already know the CA Power Hour gets 75% off all courses. And I also got the CA Party 75. I'm going to extend the 75% off the courses for a little bit longer. I don't know, maybe a day, maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know. I'm all about energy. The energy has been high over here on my side, so I'm feeling good. So I want to go ahead and give out some discounts, man. You already know, man, what I'm doing. But I told you, I'm getting rid of it. I'm on my Diante Davis, and I'm bumping them prices up. You know what I mean? My man right here, Jorge Dope Live, appreciate you for coming in, man. I appreciate it. Nick Smith, Dope Chat Coach, thanks. You already know, man. You know, my goal is to bring you guys value and, you know, bring my contacts and bring them on here and share it with you guys so you guys can hear it. You know, the other day we had Billy Briscoe. We had my cousin Peter Nieves. I'd be having Eddie on here, and I plan on bringing more people on here. My goal is to share my contact list with you guys and talk boxing and bring you into this thing. You guys been following me for a long time, and I really think that these lives is something different than just my instructionals. Oh, and for the record, I just did a instructional 10 combinations that work, and there's a link in there so you can get a free PDF, and I go over the full explanation of each combination, you know, demonstration, the whole 9 is absolutely free. So guys, take advantage. Go ahead and check that out. It should be my last instructional that I did, 10 combinations that work. I dropped that yesterday. So let's go ahead and get them views up and go ahead and take advantage of that free PDF. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that is, man. Eddie ready for some smoke, man. Yeah, we need to get Eddie back in the ring, man. You know what, man? Let me see something real quick. I don't know, man. Eddie's probably sleeping at this time. I think he'd probably sleep. You know, Eddie be busy, man. Eddie got a lot going on. But McGregor won't able to turn around because Poirier. You guys are funny, man. You guys are funny as hell. Yeah, I'll see if I can get Eddie on here, man. But I think Eddie is asleep, so we'll go ahead and we'll wait for another day to bring Eddie on here, man. But then again, guys, thank you guys for the love, support. Guys, take advantage of the courses, CA Power Hour. You already know the deal. Go grab yourself a course. Go watch the instructionals. Go get the free PDFs. You feel me? And you already know.